What's good, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON here with tips as for what to do before the Taken King releases on September 15th. I've put together this list to try and give you guys a nice simplified version of the stuff I'm going to be trying to complete before the Taken King that hopefully will get you all prepared, but not only that, it probably is going to put you in a nice schedule. Everything I'm trying to lay out in this list is something that's going to make it fun to play Destiny each week and hopefully prevent burnout from happening. That way, when Taken King gets here, you're set to go, you've got the materials that you want to do, and it's the best time right now to get started. So number one, raids. Complete the old raids as much as possible. Get the gear you don't have yet. The old raids are going to be run far less. When the Taken King gets here, the new raid is going to be run exclusively basically for a month. And then the next month will be all about the hard mode of the new raid. If you don't know, they stagger the launches of normal and hard mode a few weeks to sometimes a month. So run the old raids as much as possible. My suggestion is that you set up a weekly night or a time that your group meets to do the raids. That way it's not a choice or an option, you guys commit to doing it. More often than not, when you have a schedule, you'll find that consistency becomes a lot easier. People know when to expect the raid to happen rather than just one-off, off the whim kind of a thing. If it's off the whim, a lot of times people will skip. I will say this, I get more requests from players and viewers to run the raid or run trials, and if you don't have a raid crew, you're going to have to work to get it. In a future video, I will explain how to do this, but there's a mindset that players who have raid crews kind of just fell into it, and for some of us that's true, but like honestly, a lot of us worked to find our raid crew. We went through different clans or LFGs to find a crew or a group of friends to work with. So it's not something that you fall into, it's something you have to be proactive about finding a crew to play with. If you don't, you're going to miss out on a huge part of what Destiny is and the fun that can be had. I'll explain that in a future video, different methods for finding a crew of people to play with. Number two, if you don't already have 3 max level characters, do it. It is not that hard and can benefit you massively in terms of material farming. When House of Wolves came out, the fact that I had 2 max level characters, no, I had 3 ready to go before it actually started. The fact that I had 3 characters ready to go made it so much easier to get Etheric Light, to run the weekly activities more than once, and to progress my characters up faster. It is something that is for everyone. It's not just the excuse of, well, I have limited time, so I just want to put it into this character. If you're somebody who plays Destiny more than once a week, you're somebody that can very easily have 3 max level characters prior to the Taken King releasing. I highly, highly suggest this. It doesn't mean that you get rid of your main character. It just means you've got an activity and something to work towards. It's been a huge benefit, and a lot of the fun I've had with Destiny is running alt characters. Number 3. Complete the level 35 Prison of Elders and try to complete the Elder Cipher bounty. If you don't already have Skolas beaten yet, I highly encourage you try and get a group together to do it. It's a lot easier now than it was at launch. The elemental modifiers have been removed, so the burn strats of Yellowhorns or just nuking him down don't work quite as well, but he's got a reduced health pool and enemies now spawn at set times, so it's a much easier fight. You'll get the ship, you'll get the shader as long as you have a treasure key and open up the big chest after you do it. The Elder Cipher bounty is something that will drop in level 34 and 35 Prison of Elders, and it's basically the quest line to get you one of the 3 exotics that are in House of Wolves right now available, the exotic weapons, I should say. Number 4, save up as many coins as possible. Work towards maxing out your marks on all characters as well. So this kind of goes into the pocket of material readying, and this happened with the transition from the Dark Below to the House of Wolves. You want to save up as many strange coins as possible, because when year 2 gets here, Taken King arrives, there's going to be a lot of new exotics, a lot of items that you want, and the more materials you can have coming in, the better you'll be. So on all of your characters, max out your Vanguard marks and your Crucible marks, and if you start now, it's not going to be that hard between now and then to get all of those maxed out. Additionally, you need to get as many coins as possible, because I promise you, you will come to a point where Xur is selling a lot of good stuff. House of Wolves, he really hasn't sold a ton of things that I've wanted, but I've got a few hundred coins saved up, ready to go. I'm going to keep building that so that when the Taken King gets here, I'm ready to roll, to buy and have a shopping spree. Number 5, and maybe one of the most important tips here aside from number 6, is set up a weekly routine of activities, whether that be the heroic strikes, the nightfalls, raiding, PvP, or trials. Set up a weekly checklist of things that you want to get done so that you consistently are hitting your metrics, you're getting the materials that you want. For me, I want to run the heroic strikes on all 3 characters each week so I stack a ton of coins. Vice versa, I want to run the nightfall on all 3 of my characters, giving as many chances for exotic drops and the XP buff for leveling up other gear. Having a checklist will motivate you to play the game. It'll keep it something that isn't necessarily like well, I don't really feel like running that tonight. It'll keep you consistent and motivated. But number 6, and this is the most important one here, do not burn out. Burning out on Destiny is a bad thing. It's where you play too much and you just aren't feeling that hype or the love that you once were. And it's something that's easily avoided. It's, we're gonna hit a content drought portion. We're not there yet, or at least for me, we're not there, but probably a month away from the Taken King, I'm gonna be like, I've got just about everything I want. I've run everything. What is there left to do? Well, that weekly checklist is gonna keep me motivated there, and the goals that I have for Taken King. But at the end of the day, do not burn out. Take breaks. Do other stuff. Like, we all love this game, but nothing is lamer than getting to the point where you don't love it just because you've overplayed it. So try your best to avoid burnout. That's my ideas for what to do before the Taken King. I'm sure that you guys have some other ones that you could certainly leave down below. Let's say you're an achievement hunter and you want to get those achievements or trophies before we get all the new ones with the Taken King. It could be a great time to go after that, or maybe trying to max your Grimoire score out. There's a lot of people who are really into that. Maybe you're somebody who wants to go for the min-max gear and you're looking for the best stat rolls possible on your gear so you can have like this optimal build, which we don't really know how gear is going to play out in the Taken King. For me, I'm looking forward to the Taken King greatly, and I will say this, I'm totally focused on like not burning out on Destiny. I remember when the big content drought happened between The Dark Below and House of Wolves. Reached this point where I'm like, yeah, pretty much done everything, and what is there left to do? That's actually the point where I had the most fun with Destiny, because I did all sorts of random stuff like trying to break the map, going to locations you weren't allowed to go to before, doing weird challenges and dumb raid stuff. Like, a lot of fun can be had if you're creative and, I don't know, just focus on having a good time, I guess, not taking it too seriously. Anyway, I am BBKDRAGOON. I hope you found these tips helpful. Leave your thoughts down below if you enjoyed. Let me know with a like. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you later this week. Weapon changes without weapons. That's the way. Like, they can change weapons without releasing giant content updates. So if you, that's different, by the way, than any other previous Halo game. In order